Say don't steal, don't run the red light, don't go cover that neighbor's house. They don't do that. You got a lot of people on earth, millions of them, live according to the law. But the law is not going to save them. Only thing going to save you is faith. And the faith is believing that Jesus Christ is the Son of God.
So why do you think on affirmative action, you say that it's not, you don't believe it's necessary anymore? But there are a lot of black leaders today, such as people who lead the NAACP, the Urban League, those who you see on television, Reverend Al Sharpton. It's a lot of people who are up in arms about, the Supreme Court even taking up affirmative action.
Let me tell you why. All of that is politics.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to give up. See, in a lot of these organizations, black organizations, they be paid.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to lose their money. They don't want to lose their money.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not necessary. I know, just like I said earlier, because of the makeup of the government, and you got everybody that voted in something, that's why it's always better. If you're going to, every Christian should be the head of things in the world. Christians should be the head of things. If the Christian race were the head of everything, then a lot of things wouldn't be necessary. But you got the devil holding office. You got this person holding office. Don't care nothing about. You got Hispanic. They don't care nothing about nobody but themselves. So it's like the Japanese don't care nothing about themselves. Every race of people is only interested in their own self. But Christ said, no, you must love that neighbor as thyself. We must love everybody. You can't do. I ain't going to do for him because he's white or he's Chinese. I'm going to do all for the black. You can't do that. Those people are not going to. So that's why you got to hold on to a lot of things. But a lot of things are not necessary, but what they say, I'm making good money, I lose this. But then that, if all of us, just like I said, if all of us accept Christ as our personal Savior, we wouldn't need a police state. We wouldn't need no army. We wouldn't need nothing. But it would never be that way until Christ comes back. Because Lucifer, the only thing, he got to put Lucifer in the fire. When God put Lucifer in the fire, peace on earth. Yeah, and you got a demon, man. You got a demon that know your thoughts. He know everything about you. He know all your weakness. The only thing that demon can't do, he can't take your life, and he can't give life. That's Satan. But Satan can do everything else. He can transform himself to an angel of light. You just think about that. And he can perform miracles. He can do it. So they say, in the 7th day, the 7th year, Satan gonna send people down there just like he doing Moses' time. And these people gonna come out and they're gonna perform all kind of miracles. And it's that's the Messiah. Nobody can do that. That's the Messiah. But when Jesus, or when Moses' snake ate them other snakes up, that's just like they're taking a knife out your hand. You ain't had nothing there. But when it comes down to, like you said, you don't need all these things. But the only reason you need them, just like you don't need police, but the only reason you need them, if you don't, somebody go in your house and rape your wife and rape your children. So you got to have police. And so, let me tell you something. When Johnson Wade finished his course, God set up the government, God himself. He said, I'm gonna divide the land and give it to everybody. Now, the priest and the Levite. Everybody got land but the priest and the Levite. And why they didn't get in the land? Because God, He wanted them to. They wasn't selling. They couldn't sell. They had to still going all around the world. And you working for me. You working for me. Your home, when you die, you got a home. They're not built by hand. So the Levite, they wasn't given in the land either. But what they did, they put them up. They built them cities so they could live free. The priest and the Levite could live free. And then he come up with a house of refuge. If anybody killed somebody accidentally, they could go to this place and they could live. Nobody could go over there and get them. And then when the family dies out, and if the person lives long enough, he can go back home. See, God always made provision for us. But we took it in our own hands, just like the Jews. The Jews the ones supposed to, they supposed to did the same thing. Paul did. The Jews supposed to have brought the world in. He said, go into all the world. And when Jesus was saying that, he wasn't talking about the Gentiles. When Jesus was living in the Old Testament, he was circumcised. And when he said, you go into all the world, preach my God, he wasn't talking about us. He wasn't talking about the German, the Japanese, and all the other people. He was telling the Jews, you go into all the world and preach my God. Bring all of them, bring all the family in, for the Jews thing. And that Ethiopian, that Japanese, whatever, I ain't stunned about it. So what God had to do, he said, well, okay, I'm going to send another man, Paul. And Paul, that's why Paul got the most epistles in the Bible. When you read Paul wanted, I think I've heard and read somewhere he could speak 7 languages. Paul was one of the wise men on earth. Out of all the Abraham and all of it, Paul was one of the wisest men on earth. He just like what Martin Luther King did. Paul did that in that time. He gonna bring the races together. And it wasn't black and white, it was the Gentiles and the Jews.
So do you think Barack Obama's bringing the races together? Is the country less divided racially than what it was?
It's better, but tell you what happened. This last election opened. The last election opened up American eyes. See, they didn't never think. See, when Obama won the first time, they thought it was a slip up. You know, like, oh, he got lucky. So the white race, they came together. The 4 years Obama was in office, the white race were planning on Obama. We're going to defeat him. That's all they had in mind on but one thing, defeat this nigger. They did everything in the world human possible. And the only reason they didn't kill him because God had a stay on him. They'd have killed him.
So
they couldn't kill him.
So you believe that his opposition, the Republican Party, wanted to defeat him because he was black? Or are you talking about the powers that be? Are you talking about the political party? Or?
I think it was both.
Okay.
I think it was both, but it was more black than it was anything else.
Okay.
And what happened is, see, the Republican Party, I look at them as a white party.
Mm-hmm.
And They don't want nobody. If you ain't white, you can be any other race. They don't want nobody telling them what to do. That's just like when Kennedy. When President Kennedy, they didn't think he was going to win because he was a Catholic. And the white race in this country, they don't want nobody dictating to them. But when Obama won the last time, everybody that I talked with, they were worried about will Obama win a second term. But you know what I told them? And I was in the minority. I said, let me tell you something. I said, Obama's going to win. And he's going to win by a big vote. Ain't no beat no. After he's going to beat the next president, just like he'd beat Hillary Clinton. I said, because he was put there by God. He's going to fulfill what God put him to do. Obama, couldn't do anything in the first 4 years. Because when he went in, the Bushes, they had everything. So, do you know if anybody else had been president of the United States, we would have been in concession. We would have been bad. Everything would have been bad. They couldn't have brought the country back. It had to take a man like Obama to do it. Now, what he did in his last election, it opened up America so the American people could see the real enemy in America. The Republican Party is the real enemy in America. The Republican Party. When the Hispanics saw it, the Asian Americans saw it, everybody saw it. You see, the white man cannot win the president without bringing in minorities, women, all other groups. They can't win. And Obama, he say, I'm the president of everybody. And when he put his platform, I heard a white lady say, she said, you think I'm going to vote for Romney? When I heard him, he don't believe in the women's rights. He don't believe in this. He don't believe in that. I'm voting for Obama. And if you follow the race, and when he won, all other groups out there, they joined the Obama movement. So it wasn't nobody left. The Republican fighting, the Republican Party was fighting the world in America. How you gonna win? You on one side. That's just like right here in Jacksonville. The east side gonna go up against everybody else in Jacksonville. How they gonna win? They can't do it.